gentlemen, welcome once again to the GamesRadar Plus Loot Crate booth at San Diego Comic-Con 2015. You can't tell, but out there it smells different
than it
smells up here. It smells really good. Everybody up here, you smell really good, Max.
You know what? It's a skill of mine. I don't want to brag, but
I don't want to toot my own horn. My name is Anthony. I smell okay.
Proud of my nice odor. And we have a fine-smelling guest.
This is Shawn Martinbrough.
Yes.
Shawn Martinbrough smells better than anybody else up here at this exact moment.
This is going to be the rest of the interview. All smells related.
Big build-up, guys. You set a bar really high for me. I mean,
you got commitment to excellence.
I'm good.
Commitment to excellence.
I'm good.
Shawn Martinbrough is the artist on the Skybound book, Thief of Thieves. Now, the Skybound books are interesting because not only are they sort of like this is the brainchild of Robert Kirkman, who is a known gentleman in this world. Somebody knows that he's one more bearded dude that people know. He's made some things. But Thief of Thieves is also kind of a fascinating crime book. It is about a guy who's a master criminal who's going after other criminals.
Yes, that was the premise when we first started.
Yeah.
And now he's going to be like, and now it's about aliens and the end of the world.
And now it's about people that just walk, they're just on the undead walking around and terrorizing people.
Oh, that's an
that's
interesting
the other one. That's the other one. Yeah, that's the way it started. But then I think as the story, once we sort of got cooking, it sort of became about this guy who's trying to sort of get out of this lifestyle of just sort of being a master thief and stealing stuff.
Right.
But as usual, his criminal past pulls him back in. Things that he's done have sort of like led his son into trying to follow into his footsteps, but his son is hopelessly inept at it. So the son is always sort of one step away from getting killed.
Right.
So Conrad always has to sort of go back and sort of pull him out of the fire. He's got to he's trying to leave the life. So past business associates are like, no, you're not leaving yet. We need you to do that one last job. And if you don't do that one last job, we're gonna
take your fingers.
and we're also gonna go after your son and your wife and his ex-wife. So it's like these things that just when he's trying to get out, they pull him back in.
Shawn, the other thing that's interesting about Thief of Thieves is the setup for the creative process. At the very beginning, it's not like we're going to get an artist and a writer and we're going to pair them up and it just goes on and on. It was always going to be a team of writers.
Yep.
And you've been working on the book from the very beginning. How has prepping the art for Thief of Thieves and coming up with the style sort of been a different creative experience for you, working with like a room of writers rather than just one collaborator?
Well, yeah, I mean, I've been working in comics since like the early 90s, working with Marvel and DC. And I have to give Robert Kirkman credit because the writer's room experience has been very seamless. I just get the scripts. I get so the way it started out is that Robert had kind of worked out the story arc for like the first 25 issues. And then he basically brought on Nick Spencer to do the first arc, followed by James Asmus, and then Andy Diggle started on the third arc, and he became our regular writer. So for me, it's just a matter of getting the scripts, and they've been very seamless in terms of transitioning from one writer to another. As me being the artist, I've just can only do what I do, which is be consistent. You know, like I said, I got my start working in comics in like the early 90s, working for Marvel, then DC. I went and did like an art book, how to draw noir comics, the art and technique of visual storytelling for Random House. So my style has been pretty baked in. So I think when Robert approached me and said, hey, I'm a really big fan of your work, I'd like to work with you on this new series, he already knew the visual style that I would be bringing into it. So that remained consistent, even if the writer's room thing wasn't. But to his credit, both, that was really seamless. And me, hopefully I've been pretty seamless as the artist for the past 30 issues.
Shawn, walk me through like your day, man. Because I was actually raised by an artist, raised by a painter, so I've seen how an artist lives. And that is a level of discipline that I am just not capable of.
Oh boy.
So how do you make sure that you are like sitting at your drawing table and you're in for a long haul? How do you do this? What is your day?
Well, see, there's this thing called money that we trade for goods and services.
Yes. What it all comes back to.
The great motivator.
So that's a really great motivator.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, honestly, like, it's what I do. It's my passion. And I typically, my work day consists of walking from my bedroom to my studio.
Oh, isn't that the best?
It's a tough commute.
Yeah.
And honestly, like, I usually wear like a tank top, shorts, you know,
So you actually, even though you have the pants optional commute,
pants optional.
I'm a big fan of the pants optional commute, but you still make the pants happen as part of your workday.
Yeah, because sometimes you might get a delivery from FedEx. And so a lot of times I get the knock on the door. I say, hold on, hold on,
Real
hold on.
emergency situation. Oh wait, oh,
I got to run around and put some clothes on.
That's why I
Messing
go
with
with
my
the
whole
Jedi
routine here.
robe.
Yeah, okay.
Jedi robe all day.
I should think about putting a robe by the front door. You know, so I can-
Emergency
It's
robe.
just
just in case. So I can just put it on, boom, I'm good. So yeah, so really, but I'll sort of wake up at around 9, and I'll tend to work throughout the whole day.
Yeah.
And, you know, sometimes you might have to do some life things. You might have to run to the supermarket, Home Depot. I try to go to the gym fairly regularly because you sit on your butt all day, so you can be like, "Argh."
Yeah.
So I'll try to like take biking breaks, but I'll tend to work straight until like maybe like 2 a.m.
Wow.
You know, and if I'm in a groove, like sometimes like my thing is that I try to go to bed before the birds start chirping outside, because once those birds start chirping, it's hard for me to go to sleep. So and then sometimes it just really doesn't matter. Like, you know, I'll say, okay, I might have been drawing for 12 hours or more, but if I'm in a groove, I just keep going.
Yeah.
So it is that discipline of just making sure that, you know, my thing is that trying to tell the story and make the story as visually interesting as possible. Whenever I get those scripts from Andy, I'm like, I'm trying to make his words leap off the page, make the characters act, really pull the reader into those scenarios, even if it's just a scene of people talking or like a full-blown action scene.
Yeah.
So that's sort of like how I approach it.
Cool.
So what's next for Thief of Thieves? Like any hints, any tidbits you can offer?
Well, Andy is from the UK, so we primarily talk through email.
Right.
But since we're actually
Heavily
here,
like encrypted, guarded, secreted
you'd
email.
be surprised. No,
Oh.
you'd be surprised. But so since we're both here at the San Diego Comic-Con, we're actually going to go get some drinks and talk about the next arc.
Oh,
Nice.
very
Where we
nice.
wanna
That's how
take
you
it.
do it right there.
And it's been really cool because since Andy came on as the third writer, he's had to clean up a lot of the story threads that
Got to
the other
come in here
artists-
and fix your problems.
He's really capping off a lot of loose threads
Yeah.
that Kirkman, Spencer, and Asmus really laid out. And then once this arc that we're on right now, which is, I think, the 4th arc,
Right. You'll have kind of a clean,
it's a clean slate
after that.
So we're
Okay.
really going to sort of reboot the series with a whole sort of new perspective, new characters, and a new direction.
Shawn, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks so much.
Everybody, you can pick
Thanks,
up
all.
the
Yes, thank you,
first
Shawn.
3 volumes of Thief of Thieves right now. Stick with us here at the GamesRadar and Loot Crate booth, and if you show up at Shawn Martinbrough's door,
You
I
know,
got
he
the
will
robe.
likely be wearing
Got the robe.
pants.
no promises though.